Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the best video of the month, the monthly reset video. Today we're just going to be looking over the month of June and starting to prep for the month of July. Today's June 30th. I'm going to try to get this video out on June 30th. I've just finished work and it's 5:15 p.m. I don't know how I want to structure it. So I think we're going to go through the standard. We'll go through our goals for June. We'll plan our goals for July. We'll do a reading recap. My apartment is looking really clean actually. I did a good clean yesterday, so there's not too much cleaning to do. Well, my living room and my bedroom is like super clean. Outside is doing okay, but I do need to clean my kitchen. So I'll do a bit of like cleaning, refreshing. So that's what our reset video is looking like for today. So let's just get straight into it. Alright, sidetrack. Before we get started cleaning, can we just take a moment to appreciate how cute my apartment is looking right now? As you all know, I love reading, I love books, and I've been on a mission to create a reading nook in my apartment. I really wanted an armchair in my apartment, and I really wanted to like have a nicer, warmer vibe to it. So I did a bit of an impulse renovating, and I'm still in the process of redecorating a few things, but I am loving how things are coming along together so far. So let's just have a look. This is what our living space is looking like at the moment, and I am so in love. So essentially I've just brought things this way and kind of try to make that area like a little quiet time reading area. At first I wasn't sure about this armchair, I will be honest. I have been very unsure about this armchair. Not the chair itself, I love the chair, but I just thought it was too small for this space, and maybe it is, but it's definitely growing on me and I am absolutely loving it. So if you're sitting down and you're looking at this angle, it's like a really nice like reading kind of vibe. Absolutely loving it. Obviously we've got our typical decor here and ignore our messy kitchen. This space, I still need to figure out what I'm doing with this space, so TBC. But yeah, look at her. So the kitchen is clean now and I feel like I can work, like I feel like I can breathe now. The house is completely clean, absolutely happy with it. So now let's go straight into reviewing our goals for June. So as per normal, we're just going to start going off by reviewing the standard goals. So if you don't already know, these standard goals are the same every single month and they have been derived from my resolutions, my goals from the year. Alright, so first things first, this month was actually a really good personal finance month. If you remember last month's video, we weren't so great on the personal finances. This month has actually been the first month that I have hit my target of how much I want to reduce my debt by for that particular month. I've completely hit that and exceeded that. So reduce my debt by X number of amount. I was able to do that. Save/invest a certain amount. This one I didn't quite hit, but I'm not really picky about this because savings for me aren't a very big priority. For me, the biggest priority is attacking that debt like a disease, and then everything else is kind of just laying back in the background. So for me, as long as I've got my emergency fund, which I have, my main priority right now is to just attack that car loan. And once that car loan's paid off, essentially I'll be free to like start focusing on other investments, so things like buying my next property and all those kinds of things. Earn at least $500 from side hustles. I don't think I did that. Publish at least 4 YouTube videos. I did not do this. I'd been doing so well with this for the past few months, but this month I didn't. I think I've only, including this video, released 3, so I just fell short by 1 video, but we'll pick myself up for next month. Complete at least 18 workouts. No, I did not do that. Read at least 4 books for the month. Yes, I did that. I'm very happy with that because last month we didn't hit that goal, so we came back strong this month, and this month we did read at least 4 books. Do a blood donation. I did not do a blood donation this month, just again because my health hasn't been 100%. It's probably counterproductive for me to be doing blood donations. So I think blood donations are going to be on pause for a little bit, but we'll see. Sibling date. I did not have a sibling date this month. I think I've been like dropping the ball a lot on this, so I think I really need to focus on that for next month. Mental space. I think my mental space has been okay. Like, I think there's been like a few things that have happened this month. I think my health being one of the biggest things that's contributing. It's essentially just a lot of gut health issues. It's nothing crazy. Like, I'm not like terminally ill. I'm just having a bit of gut health issues, which is just driving me up the hill. And besides that, I guess in terms of like personal wise, there've been a few things going on here and there, but nothing dramatic. I feel like overall it's been relatively good. I did start a new job, which hasn't gone as well as I'd wanted to go. So that's affected me. So overall, I'd say I haven't been 100%. I haven't been completely great, but then I haven't been like laying in bed depressed, feeling miserable. Like, I've really been trying to be positive, trying to focus on the positives and not focus on the negatives. All right, so that's that for the overall generic goals for the month. Now let's go into the specific goals that we'd set for June. So like I said in my previous reset video, typically I would have many goals under each category, but I found I was stretching myself too thin when I did that. So for last month, I tried out a new thing whereby I was setting one particular goal for under each category, except for my health, which was a very big focus for me this month. So I had a bit more in that one, but for every category, I was trying to just focus on one specific goal for each category of my life and hone in on that. And I feel like it worked really, really well. So in terms of our personal finance, the goal that we had was to pay off and close my Westpac credit card. And I am so happy because I did that, and I can officially say that I do not have any credit cards. I do not have any Afterpay. I do not have any Zip Pay. I don't have any formal lines of debt except for my car loan, which I'm super happy about. All right, in terms of career, learning and side hustles, my goal for the month was to just focus on this new role that I'm starting. Just start it well, focus on building a positive brand for myself, learning as much as I can, and following through with good work habits. Like, this isn't like really a hard goal to achieve. I must say it has been a bit of a tricky month just because the culture at my new workplace, I'm now moved into working at an investment bank, and the culture is just different to other workplaces that I've worked at. So I think I'm just adjusting and trying to be positive about everything. There are a few hiccups that I had along the way, just in terms of, I guess, my expectations. But I'm just trying to rewire my expectations, focus on the positives, not focus on the negatives. Our health, wellness and fitness category was a big category for us this month, and we did some things okay, we did some things not so okay. Number one goal was to educate myself on IBS, go for an x-ray and do my second appointment. I'll tick that off because I really have been trying to educate myself a lot on exactly what IBS is, how does it work, how do we manage it and all that kind of stuff. So I think I've done that. Next goal that I had was to educate myself on a low FODMAP diet and follow it strictly. So I tried to do this, but I'm not going to tick it off because I think I failed miserably at it. So at the start of the month, I was really focusing on trying to pin down exactly what types of food irritate my stomach. So one of the parts that I decided to go down is following a low FODMAP diet. Now, this is a temporary diet. It's not a diet to lose weight. It's not a diet to gain weight or whatnot. It's just a tool that you can use to figure out exactly what intolerances you may have or what foods are a bit sensitive for you. So I did try to do it at the start of the month, but I just found it was so restrictive. Like, I cut out so many food categories. I didn't have any dairy. I wasn't having any gluten. Even so many vegetables I couldn't have. Like, I couldn't have broccoli. The only vegetable I could literally eat was pretty much carrots. And for me, that was just too restrictive. And I found, because the diet was just so restrictive, I was not eating as much, and then I was just tired and I was getting headaches, and it just didn't work out for me. So I tried it for about a week or two. I tried it for about 2 weeks, and then afterwards I just realized it wasn't helping me, so I stopped. And I feel like there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I feel like sometimes we set goals for ourselves, we try to achieve them, and then sometimes the goalpost moves or our values change, and I think that's okay. So I'm not even bummed out that I can't tick off this goal. Next was to sign up for private health insurance, and I did it. Oh my goodness, if you know, I have been procrastinating doing this for months and months on end. I think it was like in my January reset goal for the month, like to do all the way in January. Didn't do it in January, postponed it so many months, but I finally did it. I felt like an adult. Like when my private health card came through, I felt like an adult. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can be admitted into private hospitals. I can claim back cool things. I can claim it back on tax, da 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 da. So I'm very, very proud of myself for that. So signed up for my private health insurance. Next goal was to consistently complete at least 4 workouts each week, no matter what, and to just move my body. I did not do that. Next goal was to stick to a 6:30 a.m. morning routine, and I have been smashing that out of the park. Yes, there have been a few days here and there where I haven't woken up at 6:30, but pretty much every day I've been waking up at 6:30. Even on weekends, I'm waking up at 6:30, and I just absolutely love that time. And with that, of course, it means sticking to a 10 p.m. bedtime routine. And then next one, personal relationships and other. My goal was to be there for people who need me and be proactive about it. I feel like I did it, but I could have done better. All right, guys, so that was pretty much it for June. Overall, I feel like I had a good month. In terms of my generic goals, obviously not so great, but in terms of my June specific goals, I feel like I did phenomenal, and I am so happy about that because I feel like it's actually the best performing month I've had. We're done with June. Now let's go into planning our July goals, of which I have no idea what I want my intentions to be for July. Like, yeah, I haven't really thought too deeply about it, so I'm just going to take some time now to just think about it, see what my focus areas are going to be, and yeah, go from there. Some time to sit down, reflect, think, and look into what I want my goals for July to look like, and decided my goals for July, and I'm quite happy with them. So obviously we're going to have our standard monthly goals that are going to be the same every single month. In terms of our personal finance section, however, we have the goal of investing at least $1,000 into an ETF and doing some good research into which ETF we want to invest into. In the next category, which is career learning and side hustles, I don't think I have any I couldn't really think of any specific goals that I wanted to work to in terms of like work, as in my day job. So this month's focus is going to be on YouTube. So as you saw this month, I wasn't too great with the uploading. I think I only uploaded 3 videos, including this video, and the target is to generally the target is to post at least once a week, but this upcoming month I am going to be letting all guns out blazing. So the goal for the month of July is to post at least 2 videos a week. Now this is going to be hard. I don't think I've ever done this before. Sometimes I'll post 2 videos here and there, but never have done that in a month. But I really do kind of just want to push myself with YouTube, just see where I can take it. And the other goal for the month is to update my YouTube banner. This one's like a small goal because it probably won't take me too long. Maybe like, gosh, I'm actually a perfectionist, so I take that back. Maybe it might take me a few hours to do. But yeah, my YouTube banner I feel like is a bit more outdated at the moment, and I just want to upgrade that a little bit. The next category of my life is health, wellness, and fitness, and I have just carried over the goal from the previous month, which I was not able to complete, and I really couldn't think of anything else that I really wanted to focus on health-wise this month besides just moving my body. I feel like lately I've been really dropping the ball in terms of like getting into the gym, doing workouts, obviously because I haven't been feeling too well, but I really want to focus on that. So yeah, just at least 4 workouts a week is what I'm going to try to push myself to do. And the next category, I feel like this is going to be our focus area for the month, which is really that personal relationships and other. So as we spoke about earlier, I haven't been taking my siblings out on a date for a very long time, and my goal is to take them out on a date at least once a month. So this month I want to take out my siblings on a date, or at least spend some really good quality time with them. I pretty much see them every single weekend. I usually go home every single weekend, but I do just want to have a bit more quality time there. Next is I really want to work on being a better me. I've identified some areas in terms of my personal characteristics or the way that I've been carrying myself out, maybe towards other people, that I would like to improve on. Like I just want to focus on being a bit more kinder, being a bit more loving, being a bit more thoughtful about how my words or how my actions affect other people. So that's going to be a really big focus area of mine. I don't think I don't think I'm like the Wicked Witch of the West. I don't know, maybe ask my friends, maybe ask people in my life, they might say I'm a Wicked Witch of the West. I don't think that, but I feel like it's an area that I would like to improve on, and it doesn't hurt to try to be a better person, right? Next wise is to read my Bible at least 3 times a week and spend more personal time with God. So my spiritual journey or my spiritual life at the moment hasn't been very strong. It's probably been quite weak lately, and I'm trying to run a bit of a social experiment, not social experiment. I'm trying to run a bit of a spiritual experiment, and I'm gonna try to put more of a focus into my relationship with God and spending more time with God and things like that. Last but not least is to journal at least 3 times per week and try to be really in depth about this. Like I said, I'm really trying to work on me as a person and my inner self, and just the person that I show up as, my values, who I want to be, and just like more the internal stuff, not like the artificial, like have this much money or have my apartment look a certain way or exterior things. I just really want to do some deep work on me, my own personal self, and I feel like journaling will help with that. Anyways, we're getting quite deep and emotional there. Anyways, let's reset. So that's what our goals are looking like for the month of July. It seems like it's going to be a good month. Anyways, now let's move on to the next section of the monthly reset, which is our reading recap. Alright guys, welcome to the reading recap session of the monthly reset videos. Overall, this month was a good month. It wasn't a big reading month, but it was a much better month than the previous month. So as I mentioned in the previous month, I didn't even hit my target of reading 4 books because I was in a reading slump. I think I read too much fantasy. I read way too much big, chunky, heavy fantasies, and that just kind of put me out of the flow of reading. But this month we are back, baby. And we read some quite decent reads. So the first book that I actually read this month, and I am so grateful because I feel like this book is the book that got me out of a reading slump, is You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry. And it was just such a nice feel-good book. I gave this book a 4-star and I just absolutely love it. Emily Henry, it was my first time reading an Emily Henry book, and I actually ended up reading 2 Emily Henry books this month just because I just fell in love with her writing. I fell in love with how lightweight it was. I feel like this was a perfect book to get me out of a reading slump. A lot of it is based like in the summertime. There's a lot of like traveling in it, of which I don't think I've actually read a lot of books where they talk about like traveling and holidays and stuff. So it's such a good like beach read, and it's just such a good like summer read and just a good feel-good romance book. So I gave this 4 stars. Absolutely loved it. The next book that I'll talk about as well was another Emily Henry book, and I listened to this on Audible, and it was Beach Read, and I absolutely loved this. So it's essentially a book about 2 authors that are just in their own, I guess, struggles, and they kind of come together and things just happen. Again, it's a romance book. It's kind of like an enemies turn lovers trope, and I absolutely love those kinds of tropes. I actually would probably give it a 4.5. I'd say this one is a 4, and Beach Read by Emily Henry again is a 4.5. So I absolutely fell in love with her work there, and this would definitely be not the last time that I am reading an Emily Henry book. Other book that I read this month was Twisted Games by Anna Huang, and I gave this one a 3.5 stars. So this is the second book in the Twisted series. So Twisted Love, which is the first book of the series, I gave 3 stars. I felt like the storyline was good, but there was just a bit too many graphic scenes in there that I just didn't enjoy. This one, again, I liked, but I don't know what it is about Anna Huang. Like, her books are good. They have potential to be great, but there's just something that doesn't do it for me. I haven't been able to pinpoint what it is. They're good enough that I want to keep reading the series, but not good enough for me to give a 4 or 5 star rating. And the last book that I read or listened to was One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I absolutely love Taylor Jenkins Reid. She's such an incredible author. I love her stories. She writes unique stories. That's what I like about Taylor Jenkins Reid. Her stories are not your typical like, I don't know, boy meets girl or childhood best friends turn into lovers or whatnot. Like, it's very different. She thinks of such unique stories, and her characters always have so much trauma, and just seeing them, like, not that I want to see people have trauma, but I love how she writes about that trauma, and you see how those characters like grow from that and become like better people, or work through it, or work through a lot of suppressed things. I love the diversity in her books. Like, she's a very diverse author. I just felt like the ending was a bit rushed, a little bit. I felt like I wish it was a bit of a longer book. I think because I've been reading a bit slightly thicker books lately, and when you read thicker books, you get to know the characters more, and you get to go through more with the characters. Whereas with Shayla Jenkins' Reid book, I felt like it was a bit short. I would have loved to have more time with the characters, but overall, such a great book. I would highly, highly recommend. So that's it for the reading recap. Yeah, I think let's close out the video now. Alright guys, so that is pretty much it for this monthly reset video. I thought I was going to take you guys through a few more things. Like, I thought we might do some shopping a bit later on, or do some admin things, but I feel like we've covered plenty already today. So that's it for the month. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure to pop that like button, and make sure to comment down any of the goals that you guys are working towards. I really love hearing what you guys are working towards, and some of your accomplishments and things like that. So make sure to comment that down below. And with all that being said and done, guys, dream big, keep well, and hustle hard. I'll catch you again in the next monthly reset video for August. Bye.